So this is part 2 of my video talking about Islam and manifestation. If you haven't watched the first part, please go watch that first and then come back to me. Also, I would like to start off by saying if you're non-Muslim watching this, or even if you're Muslim and you don't understand something or have questions, feel free to get in touch and I'll try and answer your questions. And also, I am not like an alim, I'm not a scholar or anything. I just a normal like Muslim, and I try and educate myself, but I do teach manifesting. So this video is kind of addressing the second part of why like you have to be careful when you're manifesting, basically. So a lot of the time people use music to manifest. Now obviously music is haram in Islam, and the reason being because, well, you're not allowed instruments. There's a few reasons. You're not allowed instruments. It plays with your emotions. Anyone that like listens to music, they'll know, like, it's happened to me as well, and this is why I stopped listening to it. And alhamdulillah, I haven't listened to music for a long time, and it's only if like I'm out and they've got something on in the background, I can't help that because I'm out, I'm not in control of it. But I try and stay away from it. But music definitely, like, it affects your mood. You could feel sad, it could make you feel happy, it could make you start crying. You'll be normal going about your day, and then you'll hear something and it can just make you so emotional. And also music has frequencies. I actually watched a video, a non-Muslim video, talking about this. It was a study, and they were talking about when people go to clubs. The people that go to clubs, they are most likely to be in a very negative and bad energy, because they go there for a release. The people go there, they drink, they're wearing revealing clothes, they're like maybe taking drugs, they've had a bad week, they want to just unwind and relax, and or what relax, that's what they call it. But it's those kind of places where you are going to find negative energies and entities, and that's where it kind of possesses you, unfortunately. You have to be very careful. I'm not trying to scare anybody, like you're going to be scared to go home now. Obviously we've got the Ayatul Kursi, which is there to protect you, so if anyone doesn't know it, and not wearing it isn't enough to protect you. You have to read it, because just being there is not going to, it's not actually going to, like, say anything. You have to be either listening to it out loud or say it verbally. But anyway, I'm not going to go into like teaching you about that. But anyway, yeah, so they were doing a study where the energy in those kind of places is so low, and that's where you get this, like, saying, oh, this person's such a high vibe, or oh, this place has got such a good vibe. Vibe is just vibration, and by reaching certain vibrations you can actually enter different realms. And for anyone that doesn't understand this or not experienced this before, I completely get it, because I was exposed to this a few years ago, and at first I was like very cautious and just wondering what is all this. You can like there's people that can astral project, and I've done it before, but you have to be very careful, because when you go into these realms and realities, you're basically going into a different world where it's their world, it's not our world, it's a jinn's world. And you're leaving yourself exposed. So if some people do this because they maybe want guidance from God, they maybe want just a bit of peace or whatever, to understand certain things. So if you are doing anything like that, always use God's name. There's ways to do it. Don't just go into like watching like a YouTube video of someone especially not non-Muslim. You have to use God's name to protect yourself. And there's just the way that we do zikr. Basically you're doing zikr, and by doing zikr, and there's a different like technique to it, but again I'm not going to go into it in this video. And by doing God's name, by using that, you're basically protecting yourself, so nothing bad can affect you. You're basically just going in, you can visualize and see things and maybe understand things if you wanted to. And God could use it for guiding you, because it's a bit like when we do istikhara. So you've probably all heard of istikhara. It's exactly the same thing, but you're basically doing it in a awake state. rather than when you're sleeping. And this is the thing, when you're sleeping, we go into that state as well, because our body as Muslims, our soul, it actually leaves your body every single night when you sleep. And then in the morning, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings you back to life. That happens every single night. So you should be thankful when you wake up. This is what I always teach, like gratitude. When you wake up, first and foremost, be thankful that you're alive. So many people, and I'm sure you know people that have passed away in their sleep as well. And as again, as Muslims, I'm saying you have to educate yourself. Don't listen to me, don't listen to anyone else online. Do your own education, learn, and listen to the Quran, listen to hadiths, and follow Islamic talks. Just looking at some notes that I've made. So basically, by using music, etc., that's a way that you can access like that realm. And unfortunately, when people are manifesting, they do that, and they can attract things that are not good, not good entities. The whole purpose of the shaitan and devil is to lead you astray, take you away from Islam. And when he does this, it's very discreet. It's not done blatantly. It's very, very discreet, but it will be big leaders, people of authority that are preaching something, and unfortunately then that's leading to bad things. Again, I'm not going to go into this whole debate or discussion or anything, but yeah, that's the bottom line. Like I said, I personally don't do like any rituals or anything. I will just teach you to reprogram your mind by using like techniques which it's basically more psychology to make you a better person, because that's what Islam is. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he wants you to be happy, he wants you to live a good life. This life is a test, and it is ultimately about belief, because even in Islam, all manifestation, the way I perceive it and teach it, is you want something, you trust you're going to get it, and then you work towards it, and you're basically aligning your mind to focus towards it. And that's exactly what Islam, I believe anyway, what Islam, my understanding is, God's teaching you, because God's saying have belief, ask me. God's saying ask me. So when I do anything, I'm always thinking it's God, it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's nothing else that's helping me get there. And God's there to protect you, God's there to guide you, and he will give you guidance. If you just believe, you say to yourself like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'm believing in you. If you want a new car, you don't know how it's going to happen, you don't need to think of how, and that's exactly what manifestation is. You just believe, you say to God, I want this new car, help me get it, and he will guide you. He'll, if it's there for you, he will give you that or something better. And the same thing is like, it's basically just like dua. When we're doing a prayer, that's basically what I teach. I help people, get aligned and do it properly so that they're getting results. And obviously in Islam, you're not allowed to be depressed if you're a believer, no matter. And this is why I say go back and watch the stories of the prophets, peace be upon them, because it doesn't matter what state they were in. They all went through trials and tribulations, but no matter what state the prophets, peace be upon them, were, they were always thankful to God. As a Muslim, we should never be depressed. We should always be thankful, because this is exactly what I teach. When you are in gratitude, you're thankful, you're happy with whatever God's given you, he will give you more. And you might go through a period of time where you are struggling, but God's got a better plan, and we don't know that, we don't understand that, we don't have the guidance or the capacity to even understand. We shouldn't even have to understand, because we just enjoy, and we basically just accept what we receive and be happy with it. So I believe everything's coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This video is ending soon, so again, like I said, if you've got any questions, again, I'm not a scholar, but I try and inshallah help you as much as I can. So I hope you enjoyed this, and any more questions, let me know.